Do that. Safe. Welcome to the MWBE Citizen Advisory Committee meeting. Due to the Safer at Home order issued by Governor Cooper, members of the MWBE Citizen Advisory Committee are participating virtually. All members will vote by roll call. A member will be recognized, at which time the member will state his or her vote. And so I will turn this meeting over to Jakira for that roll call.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm going to call the roll for today, September 20th, 2022 at 4 p.m. Vice Chair Leah Metz.
Present.
Committee Member Cassandra Brunson.
Present.
Committee Member Money Canyon.
Present.
Committee Member Corey English. Committee Member Eric Hairston.
Present.
Committee Member Brittany Lowry. Committee Member Weta Patton.
Present.
And Committee Member Odette Sanchez. Also on this call, we have the Director of the Office of Business Inclusion and Advancement, Kim Millett, MWBE staff, Zachary Taylor, Hannah Hernandez, and also Larry Bell with the city's marketing department. And now I'll turn it back to you, Vice Chair Metz.
Great, thank you. Through the email, we received the agenda and also the minutes from the past meeting. And so we'll need to do a motion and a second for approval of the agenda and the minutes all at the same time.
Yes. So is there a motion to approve the minutes in the agenda?
I will make the motion to approve.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
I second. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Okay, so I'll do the roll call vote. So Vice Chair Leah Metz.
Yes.
Committee Member Money Canyon.
Yes.
And Committee Member Weta Patton.
Yes.
So that motion passes.
Great, thank you. And now I will turn it over to Zach to lead us through the good faith effort.
All right, let me pull up my screen.
I don't have the new scoring. Are we going to get that link so that we can score as we go, or we should be thinking about doing it later?
I would ask that you maybe record it and then I'll send it out to you, you all later.
Sure. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
All right, this is the pre-construction good faith effort for Wildlands Construction Granville Park project. So the goal information on this project: establish MWBE project goals were 16M and 10% W. Wildlands submitted 0% M and 10.5% W. As far as A, they didn't have anything to go with A, and they also didn't have anything to go with B.
And Zach, if you could just read what those were for the letters.
So for A, did a representative of your company attend the pre-solicitation or pre-bid meeting scheduled with the city to inform MWBE firms of contracting, subcontracting, and supply and supply opportunities and review contractor requirements of complying with the program. So they did not do that or submit anything for that. Next was B. Did your company advertise in general circulation, trade association, or minority-focused media concerning subcontracting opportunities? No, the contractor must advertise in all three mediums to receive full value for this item. And they did not submit anything for this letter either. C. Did your company provide written notice to a reasonable number of specific MWBE firms that their interest in the contract is being solicited at least 10 days before bids are due to allow MWBE firms time to participate? Please provide a copy of the solicitations for quotes sent to at least 3 minority firms from the source list provided by the owner for each subcontract to be let under the contract. If 3 or more firms are shown on the source list, and it says each solicitation shall include a specific description of the work to be subcontracted, location where bid documents can be reviewed, name of representative of the prime bidder to contact, and location, date, and time. This was worth 15 points. Here they had, it states right here, item C at the top corner, we requested subcontractors for the work task listed in paragraph 1. And I have this paragraph 1 with the solicitation letter and also another slide that shows who they contacted. And this is the slide of the list of people who they contacted. Here on this middle one, they have the date, which was August 5th, that they sent the email out to all the email addresses that you see. And over here are the the company names that they use as well. All right, for letter D, did you follow up initial solicitation of interest by contacting MWBE firms to determine with certainty whether the MWBE firms are interested? Please include telephone log of follow-up calls you made to confirm interest. Here is the list again of the company names. In the middle, they put if they called them back or no calls. They also have the first call date listed here, and as well as the second call date. And they also have notes to the far right side. For E, how did your company identify and select portions of the work to be performed by MWBE firms in order to increase the likelihood of MWBE participation, including where appropriate, breaking down contracts into economically feasible units to facilitate MWBE participation? Please provide a copy of documentation where this information was included. And again, they use a solicitation letter, and they put in the top left corner here, item E, we requested subcontractors for the work task portions of the work. And this was listed in the first paragraph of this bid solicitation letter. Okay, for F, Explain how you provided interested MWBE firms with equal access to specifications, plans, and requirements of the contract. They used the bid solicitation letter at the top left corner. They said that each subcontractor received this bid solicitation letter, directing them towards obtaining plans and specifications. Also to the right is the date. Again, that they sent that out August the 5th. And for G, how are you negotiated fairly with interested MWBE firms, not rejecting MWBE as unqualified without sound reasons based on a thorough investigation of their capabilities? Copy of documentation or response received from each firm responding to solicitation must be submitted, along with the subcontractor quote comparison form. For subcontracts where the minority firm is not the lowest bidder, please provide copies of quotes received from all firms submitting quotes for the particular subcontract. Please provide documentation detailing reasons for rejecting any MWBE firm's bid as unqualified. For here, they had these attachments here. Item G was we received quotes and compared them between subcontractors, pages 12 through 15. And here, they didn't have the actual subcontractor quote comparison form, but this is what they had for G. There was also an email here. I guess it has the quotes over on it. Okay, for letter H, what services were used from the City of Winston-Salem's MWBE office? Available minority community organizations, minority contractor groups, local, state, and federal minority business assistant offices, and other organizations that provide assistance in the recruitment and placement of MWBE firms. Please provide a copy of this documentation. Note a contractor must utilize at least 2 agencies to receive full value. This was the list that they received from our office with MWBE firms that we provided. So this is 3 pages of MWBE firms that they received through email from us. All right, for letter I, how did your company provide assistance to an otherwise qualified minority firms in need of equipment, loan capital, lines of credit, or joint pay agreements to secure loans, supplies, or letters of credit, including waiving credit that is ordinarily required? Did your company assist minority firms in obtaining the same unit pricing with the bidder suppliers in order to help minority firms in establishing credit? Please provide a copy of any documentation could be included in the solicitation letter and or evidence of implementation from previous projects in the past 5 years, advising MWBE firms what type assistance was available. For this
Zachary,
one, yes.
I am so sorry. I could not find the raise hand icon thing.
Oh.
And I actually wanted to pause at H for just a second. I mean,
okay.
a real quick question. So on H, it's worth 25 points, right?
Right.
Okay. And where, I mean, this is the list that we provided. Where are the agencies? Did they indicate here anywhere what agencies they used from your list?
Um,
What, it says what services were used from the city of Winston-Salem's office, available in minority community organizations, contractors, state, federal. Yeah. So here it doesn't indicate if they use.
right. They had Yak
So
and
would that
Valley.
be your office, right? You and
Yes.
Jakira, that would be in y'all's office.
Yes. They had Yak and Valley on the affidavit D.
Okay,
That's the only one that I saw that they used from our list.
okay. But that we want them to use 5.
No, they must utilize at least 2 agencies to get full value for this letter.
Oh, there were 5
So they
points, I'm
utilized
sorry.
us. So they utilized us, but they did
As
not
one.
provide documentation of another agency.
Okay, what services were you? Okay. Okay, okay, gotcha. At least 2 agencies. All right.
Yes,
Thank you
you're welcome.
both. Thank you both.
And for I, it was what they attached was we offered assistance to MWBE businesses. Please see paragraphs 4, 5, and 6 below. And on the solicitation letter is where they offered assistance.
That's the only thing that they provided you for I.
Yes.
Okay, so no example of implementation.
Right.
Okay, great, thank you.
For J, how did your company provide assistance in obtaining required bonding or insurance, or providing alternatives to bonding or insurance for subcontractors? Provide a copy of any documentation, could be included in solicitation letter, and or evidence of implementation from previous projects in the past 5 years, advising MWBE firms what type of assistance was available. For this, they didn't have any attachment to go with letter J. All right, for letter K, did your company negotiate a joint venture or partnership arrangement with minority firms to increase opportunities for minority participation when possible? Please provide a copy of any documentation could be included in the solicitation letter, advising MWE firms what type of assistance was available, or outlining any other steps taken to fulfill this requirement. And again, there's the paragraphs on the solicitation letter. And L, did your company provide quick pay agreements and policies to enable minority contractors and suppliers to meet cash flow demands? What procedures were initiated to fulfill this requirement, and how were the MWBE firms informed of the assistance? Evidence of implementation from previous projects in the past 5 years can be submitted. And again, they use the solicitation letter for this attachment as well. All right. And at this time, the contractor will join the call for questions. And please submit your scores by 5 p.m. tomorrow. The new link should come to you guys. I sent it out, so you'll have it after this call.
Does anyone have any questions for Zach before we proceed to letting the contractor in? Seeing that there are none, I'll allow them to join the call. Thank you for your presentation, Zach. Good afternoon, everyone. So thank you for joining the City of Winston-Salem's MWBE Citizen Advisory Committee. The committee has reviewed your good faith effort submitted, and we will now allow you to add any context to the good faith effort submission. And then if you don't have anything to add, or if you do, the committee members will ask questions after that.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
I said at this time, the committee has reviewed your good faith effort. So you are allowed to add any context to your good faith effort submission if you'd like. And if not, the committee members may ask you questions if they have any.
Okay, so I would like to add that we do have an actual MB that we were working with, and for unforeseen reasons, he had to leave the country like a few days before the bid was due. So unfortunately, we were unable to use him because we didn't have our numbers locked in. But since then, he has come back into the country, and we do plan on using him. So that's one reason I just want to kind of put that out there as well. I know it don't really matter because you have to do it the way that the bids are, but I just wanted to add that in there.
Okay, this is Cassandra Brunson. A quick question about that. So you're correct. I wouldn't say it doesn't matter, but it doesn't weigh in right now with the decisions. But just out of curiosity, I just want to ask. And Zachary, correct me if I'm wrong. You received, was it 16% for M? Zachary?
16. I got 6. Yes, it's like 200,000, so it's a little over 16% for M.
And which category would this contractor have fallen, in the M or the W? Did you
in
say
the M? Yeah.
Okay, also in the M. Okay, so we still wouldn't have been, okay.
So I've got the W, so we had the regular for W. Let me look here. We had Yakin Valley Paving for the woman owned, or the WB. And then we had a MB that we were actually working with, but he had to leave the country.
Okay, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
On a number of these items, it calls for implementation. So some of those are around helping MWBEs with bonding, insurance, and then also joint venture. Let's see, that one's for advertising. Where is this? And quick pay agreements. But there wasn't any material to show that had been done in the past, within the past 5 years. Is that something that you have done before and just did not include the material this time?
So this company here has been in business for 2 years, and this is the first project that we have not been able to reach the goal. But we do offer, we stated it in the letter that we are willing to do quick pay and insurance and all that other stuff. That is not like negotiating joint venture partnership agreements, financial assistance in the letter itself. So we're willing to do that as a company. We just never had to do that, so to speak.
Okay. So in the 2 years of your existence, you haven't had that opportunity yet.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then it shows that you reached out to MWBEs per a list that was provided, but is there anywhere that you just advertised the bid otherwise, like in any papers or magazines, online, anywhere?
No, ma'am. That's the reason that one that shows, I can't remember exactly which which check it was, but that's the reason we didn't get as many points for that, because we did not do it. We just done the solicitation letter and then reached out by phone calls. We did not like do a newspaper article or anything like that.
Okay. Is that something in the past that you have done though?
No, I've never done it with my prior contract or anybody like that. I mean, typically when we send out the solicitation letters, most of the time we're able to work with folks in years past, in my experience in it.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
I wanted to add to that because I guess the committee probably have figured out that that's one of the things that I probably discuss the most is ways to get the information out to MWBE, and having the MWBE office in their list of other resources. To me, this is just a comment that I believe it would do the company, your firm, some justice to think about utilizing those offices to learn about the different ways that you could promote, advertise, and solicit electronically, email, and also they have some apps, I think iSquarefoot and things like that, where you could definitely establish a presence there and probably reach more people, resulting into more scores, a better score for especially B. Let's see, yeah, advertising in general, circulations and trade associations. So I would just encourage you to use those resources. And since I'm still unmuted, I'll just add my final thought. G, let me get to it. G, comparison form. So, yeah, I think you did show some evidence of reaching out. Is that the right number? Yeah, the comparison subcontractor quote comparison form was not included. Is there a reason? Would you like to discuss that or shed some light to us about why we didn't receive the comparison form?
It is in there. It's Toya. The email that shows to Nate Martin from Toya at tridrr.com.
Okay, let me take a look so I can make sure I score that correctly.
If you're looking like a PDF view, it should be like page 14, I think, is theirs, compared to Vulcan's. That would be on page 13.
Okay, I'll take another look at that and in detail after the call. Now that you pointed it out.
Yeah, it just kind of shows like Vulcan is only $3.75 on some of their material, which the highest was $5.25, and then the highest for F&T trucking would have been the $19.50 plus whatever the fuel surcharge would be, either $3 or $4 more a ton. So I mean, it could have been around $24 a ton or something like that, I think, compared to $5.75.
Okay, so what you did was you included the two quotes, but Zachary, do we have like a comparison form that I've seen in the past? I feel like I've seen something more uniform.
We do.
Yeah. So, okay, you provided the actual quotes, two of them, right?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, we do like receiving the comparison form. It's just a little more efficient for us to get through the whole package. So, yeah, just a thought there and ways to, things to look out for in the future to keep your scores at the maximum potential.
Okay.
Do you understand what the form that I'm talking about? Like, you did provide the quotes, but in the overall instructions, it asked for the comparison form.
Was it in the bid packet or in the affidavit D? Is that? But I haven't seen, myself personally have not laid eyes on the form that you're talking about, but I'm sure I can search something and try to find that comparison form.
Okay, yeah, some of those things, I just don't want them to be a miss for you on the next time around. And Zachary, can you answer that? Where's that form actually located for them?
It should be in inspection instructions to bidders.
Which is in the bid package. Yes.
Yeah.
I just must have overlooked it.
Okay. Okay, but we appreciate you sending in the ones that you did. I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any additional questions for Wildlands Construction? Seeing that there are none, thank you all for joining this afternoon, and Zachary will follow up with you.
All righty, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, they have exited the call. So is there any items that you wanted to review again before we concluded the good faith effort review? Or clear up any questions? Seeing that there are none, again, thank you all for joining us this afternoon, and thank you, Zachary, for the presentation. We will send out that link for you all to submit your scores, and if you could do so by tomorrow by 5 p.m., that would be awesome. And then I just want to point out one more thing before we end the call, that our next meeting will be in person, because we are required, well, as the committee is required to vote to continue virtual meetings or continue to do a hybrid meeting or meet in person. So the committee will have to take a vote if you all would like to continue to do virtual meetings. So like I said, our next meeting in October will be in person, and I'll send out the details via email.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
You
Have a
too.
great
Thank
evening.
you very much. Have a good evening.